had a wonderful trip to Castle Acre this summer when I visited family and friends in the UK. The castle grounds looked absolutely gorgeous. All the wildflowers were out in full bloom. It really is such a relaxing oasis with its myriad of little footways and footbridges and beautiful stonework. You get a real sense of history all around you.
We are really excited to share this experience with you and to delve into the fascinating history of the magnificent castle. Oh, and by the way, the castle has no entrance fee, which is always a plus.
Castle Acre is a village and civil parish in our home county of Norfolk, England. The village is situated on the River Nar, 4 miles north of the town of Swaffham and 33 miles west of the city of Norwich.
Castle Acre's name is of Anglo-Saxon and Norman origins and means a castle close to cultivated lands.
It was originally an Anglo-Saxon development named Acre and owned by a man called Toki. He was quickly replaced by Frederick, a Flemish lord. When he died in 1070, his brother-in-law, William de Warenne, took over the manor. This formed part of William's massive landholdings across the region.
The castle was built in the 1070s by William de Warenne in order to enforce his control over his East Anglian lands. He was a Norman nobleman and fought under William the Conqueror at the Battle of Hastings in 1066. At the time of the Domesday Book in 1086, he held extensive land in 13 counties.
William constructed a motte and bailey castle, protected by large earthwork ramparts, with a large country house in the centre of the motte. The castle was strategically located where the River Nar met the Peddar's Way, an old Roman road, at the centre of Warrenne's other estates in Norfolk. The castle may have been built on top of Toki's former house.
A stone gatehouse was added to the inner bailey shortly afterwards. In the centre of the inner bailey was a grand double hall built from stone, but this was not fortified and would have more likely been a country house than a conventional Norman keep.
From here there is a view of the remains of the West Gatehouse in the outer bailey.
A small community of Cluniac monks were given the castle's chapel in the outer bailey. Around 1090, William's son, the second Earl William de Warenne, gave the monks land and estates to establish Castle Acre Priory alongside the castle. Monastic sites like the Priory would have given their founders and their associated castles considerable prestige. A deer park was also created nearby for hunting.
In 1135, a civil war known as the Anarchy broke out. In response, William remodelled the castle in order to make it more defensible against invaders. The earthworks were raised considerably, and the hall began to be converted into a very tall square keep. The timber ramparts of the inner bailey were replaced with a stone wall, and the height of the earthworks around the outer bailey were raised and topped with a stone wall. A fortified, planned settlement was built alongside the castle around this time.
As part of these works, the Peddar's Way was redirected. The route was designed to highlight the importance of the owner and to provide dramatic views of the castle.
William died in 1148 while taking part in the Second Crusade, leaving the castle and lands to his daughter, Isabella de Warenne, who was then married to King Stephen's son, William of Blois.
After Stephen's death, Henry II then remarried Isabel to his illegitimate brother, Hamlin de Warenne, in 1164. Hamlin de Warenne then acquired the castle along with the other de Warenne lands.
The castle and settlement continued to be mostly held by the de Warennes until 1347. The castle was frequented by royalty, Henry III visiting the castle at least 4 times and Edward I visiting 5 times.
In 1347, the 7th Earl John de Warenne died with no legitimate heirs. Richard Fitzalan, the Earl of Arundel, then inherited the land. However, by 1397, the castle was in ruins. The surrounding settlement remained small and never became a borough. However, the priory prospered.
The monastery fell into disrepair after the dissolution of the monasteries by Henry VIII in the 16th century.
By the 16th century, the castle lay mainly derelict, yet had a procession of illustrious owners, including Thomas Howard, Thomas Cecil, and Sir Edward Coke.
Today, the castle is maintained by English Heritage. Historic England considers the castle's huge defensive earthworks to be amongst the finest surviving in England.
We hope you enjoyed this video about the wonderful Castle Acre and its priory. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like, maybe share with a friend, and hit subscribe to follow us on YouTube.